Keep moving. Keep moving. Hurry up already.
Hello and welcome to another quality production brought to you by Cornbeef Incorporated. I'm your host, Big Daddy Cornbeef, and today we will be reviewing The Walking Dead, the video game. Wait, hang on. Oh shit. Did I say The Walking Dead? I meant State of Decay 2. Sorry, I kind of get the two mixed up. That was my initial reaction going into this game. It's so Walking Dead. So this is a zombie tower defense community building survival game. Pretty much, it is in a third-person perspective, and features you going around collecting supplies, building your settlement, and killing zombies. Big surprise there. Not much of a change from State of Decay 1, really. It's a little different. We'll go into all the changes, but let me just go ahead and without further ado, get right into the gameplay. So I wanted to start off with a combat mechanic. You can see me here sneaking up on the zombie. There is a stealth mechanic, which I think that's nothing new. That was they had that instead of Decay 1, but I think that it is vastly improved in this game. It's just very cool, very useful little tactic. And then the melee combat here, it is very much like Mad Max melee combat. You get your melee weapons or your knife, and you tap X to just hit them over and over again. And once you knock them down, you hold the right trigger, press X to do a combat finisher, where you just like smash their heads in with whatever weapon you're carrying. And those are very cool. There's not enough of them though. I think there's 3 different finishers. Really just not enough variety there. They could have done a much better job on that, but they are still very cool. I'm not going to complain about that one bit. And you do have guns that you can use. You have we actually, I was playing this with Shabashkii. They added multiplayer. I think that's just about the biggest change from State of Decay 1 to State of Decay 2 is the multiplayer. You can now have up to 4 friends in your session, but yeah, I will go into the whole multiplayer aspect a little later. Getting back into the weapons, you have your melee weapons, you have your offhand weapon, which is your knife, or you're going to use that to stealth kill zombies or use it as a last resort in case your melee weapon breaks, and have your guns. So the guns are, I never really cared for the gunplay in zombie games whatsoever, because I don't know what it is about zombie games, but it's like they can never have decent gunplay. The aiming is weird and wonky. Of course, it probably doesn't help that I play with aim assist off, but aim assist is for noobs anyway. So anyway, as you can see here, looking at that map, all the red areas are where the zombies are, and the blue areas, or not the blue areas, but the more white colored areas are places that we have cleared out. I was just playing in this sesh right here with your boy Shabashkii, and we did have a very good time playing this game. I think that the multiplayer, adding the multiplayer into it, really helped it, and yeah, it just really helped it. That's the one thing that was missing from State of Decay 1. But going back into the combat, as I said, very reminiscent of Mad Max. You've got your melee and a little ground finisher there. There's one of the moves for you. I was using a bladed weapon.
Gonna run out of that soon.
And that is awesome. And you got your hit and you got your dodge. You can use weapons, which aren't the funnest to use, but that they do come in handy, especially whenever there's like a big group headed towards you. You can just like grab your damn scar and unload on them. So very fun combat system overall, but the majority of the game is going to have you running around, looting houses, you know, just searching for supplies to bring back to your survivors. So I'll get into the settlement building with that. The settlement building it's not too technical, but at the same time, it's not easy. It can become a little bit of a clusterfuck as you in these opening hours of the game as you're trying to figure everything out. And you can make friends with other communities and trades with them and all that. Damn zombie crawling through the window there. Yeah, you can establish trade routes and trade with other communities, and you know, go loot places. You spend most of your time just looting out locations and trying to keep your survivors happy. And then, you know, once you have one community completely set and settled, you can establish outposts, and you can use resources to build on your community. You can build farms, and you can have a generator and like a workshop and all that good stuff. And as you already saw, there are vehicles in this game, and the vehicles are very, very vital to your community building and your scavenging, because that's 6 extra slots for you right there. You know, the basic backpack has 6 slots in it, and then you have your larger backpack, which has 8. And then, you know, depending on the vehicle you have, Shabashkii found a sports car. Well, I found it for him and gave it to him as a show of good faith. So, you know, Shabashkii's car had 3 slots, while mine has 6, because I'm using this bigger van right here. You know, it's more my style anyway. Big Daddy Cornbeef needs a big vehicle, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it is very vital to, you know, find a vehicle as soon as possible to help you with your scavenging.
I think I'm done searching here.
And in your communities, you have your survivors, which will, you know, you need to keep your survivors happy. You can get amenities like a latrine or a shooting range or a fighting ring, you know, to boost morale. I'm not really too worried about the morale of my survivors personally. Those assholes should just be happy that they're alive. So my survivors have a very average, what should I say? Outlook, a very average standpoint, that they're not sad, they're not happy. There's Shabashkii's car. Very cool little car that I found in there. One thing is, it can get a little glitchy if 2 people are in a car, but more on that later. I will definitely be going into that. The driving mechanic is something else. I'll have to save that for later on in this video. Let's see, what else can I talk about with the community building? That's really all there is to it. You know, you build facilities for your survivors. You keep them stocked, happy. You get these big loot rucksacks you bring upstairs, and you know, keep them supplied in the storage area. Then you have your locker here, where you put all your smaller stuff. And then I really like this, because whatever you put into this locker, you don't have to come and take it back out whenever you go to building, you know, resources within your settlement. It just uses it directly from the locker. I've always adored the games that do that. It just makes it so much easier and so much more simple. You know, just taking it straight directly from the directly from your settlement's inventory. Fallout 4 did a very good job of that as well. Fallout 4 settlement building was pretty fluent. But this is not about Fallout 4. I don't need to veer too far off track here. Well, I reckon that will just about do it for the settlement building. So, yeah, there are most of the time it's a very slower paced kind of game. You're going to be sneaking around, killing the odd zombie, you know, stealth killing the odd zombie, and you know, just looting out areas. It's especially fun at nighttime. I really wish I had recorded a night segment, but I just really couldn't fit one in here. you know, I remember I was playing with Shabashkii, and he was AFK at the time, but I was crouched down, and I pried a door open for a big warehouse. We were in like really desperate need of supplies, like building material and gasoline. So I went and checked out the warehouse, and you know, it was pitch black in there. I was using my flashlight and rummaging through the containers and everything, and then I knocked over a barrel or something, I think, and or stepped on something. I made some kind of noise, and I'm talking, them damn walkers just charged up that loading ramp into that warehouse, and you know, ran me off out of there. I had to retreat back and get in my vehicle. Yeah, hitting zombies with your car is extremely satisfying on this game. Extremely satisfying. I love it so much. Anytime I'm on the open road, I always try to aim for the zombies, unless my car is just in too bad of a shape, because they do screw up your car quite a bit if you if you hit enough of them. Your survivors will open the door on them. So Nick and I decided to do something a little more high action to you know, to show off this video a little more. As far as me glitching through the ground here, bugs are not that common. They actually did a very good job with bugs, but I have encountered one or two. We played for like 6 to 8 hours, I think, our first time playing it, and then, you know, I only encountered like 2 bugs, so really ain't that big of a deal. So you see, I put that firework distraction there to lure the zombies out of the gas station, and you get to go in here and destroy these things called plague hearts. And you destroy the plague hearts, and it clears the infected in an area. So we decided to go and do that. Probably should have rested my guy up beforehand, because he is very tired. Boom. You can have frag grenades and Molotovs and smoke grenades and other throwables, and they're very fun. Just be careful when using them. The first time I used one, I didn't know what I was doing, and I selected it from my inventory instead of my quick select slot, and pressed use on it, and he just like dropped it at my feet, and it almost killed me at Shabashkii. Absolutely crazy. Boom, there's a little bit of the gunplay with my 44 mag. Absolutely love this gun. I used this the most before getting my scar. So yeah, you can have AI survivors tag along with you to help you in these escapades. Of course, Nick was, Shabashkii was lagging out a lot during this, so I'm glad that I had that AI there to help me. As far as the AI goes, they're not that smart. They're very basic. I missed it. They are very basic, but you know that they. If you need an extra target for the walkers to be on, then you know, just bring an AI. And
I'm sorry, are you hurting? We'll have some more.
plague hearts are damn tough. See, what was I? Well, I'm trying to think of something else that I can go into with the combat here, but I think I've just about covered all the combat. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a good look of it here. Let you, the reloading takes so long on the guns. That's one thing I didn't mention. You know, it takes so long to reload. Oh man. Absolutely love it though. There's nothing more satisfying than getting a clean headshot.
This ain't working for shit. Yeah, you can't do it. Boom.
They do take a lot of damage, but they're very rewarding in the end. They give you plague samples, which you can use to you know, cure the plague in case any of your survivors get bitten. So we just cleared out this gas station. We're going to give it a quick sweep through before we move on. Nick found himself a little Jeep, and he got so excited over that. You know, I really wish y'all would have been able to hear him. He got ecstatic over finding that Jeep. He was so happy. He was even more excited about that Jeep than the sports car I found him. So, you know, we get a call from the medical staff from the hospital holed up in a house requesting our aid, and we decide to take a little road trip, give a chance to talk about the graphics and the driving mechanics of the game, you know, and show you the map size. So yeah, just need to finish up right here, and we will get into that in this next clip. Damn zombies will come out of nowhere, sneak up on you. Never fails, especially if you make some noise rustling around in a container. I mean, I'm talking they will just come out of nowhere. It's like they just spawn in. Well, now that we've
can't find something every time.
now that we got all that out of the way, we're gonna get into the last section here, and I'll talk a little bit about the driving. Need to head back to base and drop all this crap off, and we'll go on our little road trip, and be a very, very good chance to talk about the graphics and the driving and the map size and all that. So let's talk about the driving. Have you seen enough of the driving yet? Yeah, that's why I've needed to save it for a whole separate section. Of course, it's not like this is a game focused on driving, but you know, the driving mechanics are very, very wonky. To me, it feels a lot like a mix of Dead Rising and Watch Dogs, and the environments are completely concrete. Don't try to smash into anything or, you know, move any cars off the road. I actually tried to move this car up here at that military checkpoint. I tried to push it off the road so we could get through there, and my van ended up getting stuck on top of the car, and Shabashkii had to come and push me off, and it was the most ridiculous thing ever, and I thought that it was so stupid that I couldn't even push that car out of the way. But let's talk about the graphics. This is a very pretty game. It's not breathtaking or astounding or anything like that. It's not even very much of an upgrade from State of Decay 1, but it really isn't bad looking. Kind of looks like Just Cause a lot. Maybe Just Cause 2 or Just Cause 3. It looks a lot like Just Cause, and I got blood all over my car there. I sideswiped that zombie. Me and Shabashkii lining up, have a little drag race here. Our first time leaving town, this was, and you know, that sunset just complemented it so perfectly. It was this is a very atmospheric game. You know, you'll see what I was talking about with that car there. It's a very atmospheric game. You'll find yourself very what's the word? Immersed in the game world. It's actually very immersive. You know, if you're into The Walking Dead or anything, or any kind of zombie survival like that, you would absolutely love this game. There goes Shabashkii doing a little bit of off-roading. He should show up here soon. So the map size, I'm sure that y'all have seen the map plenty of times by now with me opening it and checking my destination. So where my destination was. The map size was a little disappointing to me, and I think it could have been much bigger. However, there are 4 different areas where you can go, and you can take over different areas. You know, each area has its own map and all that. But for each area, you know, the map size is very, very small. It's really not impressive at all. Maybe like 3 towns in the whole map. Really not much to see or do. Yep, there I go flipping again. Vehicle mechanics, as you can see, it does have that GTA 5, you know, rolling your car over mechanic if you ever get tipped over, which I really like that. You know, it's very, very handy. if you ever roll your car over. You remember back in the old days of GTA, you would roll your car over and it would just like catch on fire and explode. Yeah. Oh, I hated it. This damn pesky ass zombie out of my face so I can loot this van. So yeah, we are currently heading to assist some survivors with medical experience up here so that we can trade between communities once we make friends with them. You know, they have plenty of medical supplies, we might have plenty of ammo, so we can, you know, load up some rucksacks full of ammo and load it in the back of the van and trade it. I think that they could have done the multiplayer a little better. It would have been awesome if they had just free range multiplayer instead of 2 to 4 players co-op, because you know that would have opened up so many possibilities. It would have been so you know, yeah, everybody could have their own little community, and if you make a supply run, like, you know, trading between settlements that you've made friends with, there could be raiders and they, you know, other players come and be attacking your shit. You know, it could have been done much better. I think the game would have had a much bigger cult following and a much bigger appeal if they had done the multiplayer like that. And yeah, one more thing that really disappointed me about this was the voice acting, and of course it's not a story oriented game. I don't think it even has a story mode really, but you know, the voice acting is amateur at best, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. You don't really pay attention to the voice acting in a game like this. It's really more just gameplay, and really not that big of an issue at all. Boom. Well, suppose I can talk about the music in these final minutes. The music is, you know, it's that, again, very basic. This is a very basic game. It's very, very fun, but very basic. The music is that creepy grunge style, zombie style music. You know the type, just like the kind that's in every single zombie game. And the music is very atmospheric, I'll give it that, if a little basic. So, you know, in conclusion, y'all, I will give this game a solid 7 out of 10, just because it's too much like State of Decay 1, and they didn't really improve much on it. It's really just a re-release of the same game. However, adding the multiplayer really did up the appeal for me. You know, I'm going to be playing this a lot more than I did part 1, just because, you know, it's a new game for me and shabashkii to get into, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And yeah, I would recommend you go out and get this game. It's only if you have friends to play with. If you're a single player, you know, I would not recommend this one bit. But if you have up to 4 friends, or, you know, just one friend that you want to go and try this out with, it is free on Xbox Game Pass, and that's how I got it. So yeah, it's a very, very good value to you know, to be getting for free. So you should definitely go out and just try it out. Can't go wrong if you got Game Pass. So this has been Big Daddy Cornbeef with another quality game review coming straight from Cornbeef Incorporated. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoy. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you did enjoy. Stay tuned to you know, to my content. I really enjoy making these for y'all, and I really hope that you enjoy watching them. So yeah, just take it easy. Peace.
That was noisy. All right, this is good. I feel like a pack mule. Just had to go and invite the undead. Finish what you started. Thank God. Okay, good find.
So much for stealth. More of the same. I'm already full of...
Hooray. The Zeds are still around.